learned to walk. You learned to talk. You figured out who your mother was, what your own name meant, and how the entire world works, all in your first few years of life. It's the most incredible learning any human ever does, and you don't remember a single second of it. Think about that. The most important years of your life are just gone. A black hole where your memory should be. Scientists call it infantile amnesia, and here's the unsettling part. It happens to every single human on Earth, no exceptions, including you. But the reason isn't what most people assume. It's not that nothing happened back then. Your brain was wide awake, soaking up more information each day than it ever will again. It was learning constantly, but somehow, those experiences never became the kind of memories you could carry into adulthood. And why that happens is one of the strangest things about the human mind. Try it right now. Reach back as far as you can. For almost everyone, the earliest memory they can find sits somewhere around age 3. A flash of a birthday, a pet, a single room. Anything before that? Nothing. And it's not a small gap. In those missing years, you took your first steps, said your first word, spent thousands of hours with the people who raised you. An entire lifetime of firsts, the richest, most important stretch you'll ever live. And your conscious mind kept none of it. So the obvious guess is that babies just can't make memories yet. But that's wrong. Babies remember constantly. A baby recognizes its mother's face. It learns which sounds belong to its language. It remembers that crying brings comfort. The memory machine is clearly running. The problem isn't making memories. It's keeping them. In a baby's brain, memories form, but many never become the kind of lasting memories an adult can consciously revisit. So the real question is even stranger. Why don't they last? The first answer hides in a seahorse-shaped part of your brain called the hippocampus. Think of it as your brain's save button. It takes an experience and files it into long-term storage. In a baby, that save button is still being built. And here's the twist. The infant brain is exploding with brand new neurons, growing at a furious pace. That growth is incredible for learning, but it may come at a cost. As the brain rapidly rewires itself, some of the fragile connections supporting early memories may be disrupted before they can fully stabilize. In other words, the brain may be building over its earliest recordings. The hardware for lifelong memories simply isn't finished yet. But that's only part of the mystery. There's a second reason, and it's even stranger. Think about how you store a memory. You wrap it in words. That was the summer we moved. That was my 5th birthday. Language is the filing system, the labels on the folders. A baby has no words. So even when an experience is recorded, there are no labels to file it under, and no reliable way to search for it later. Picture a library with 1,000,000 books, and not a single title on any of them. But there's one final piece to remember your life as your story. You first need a you, a stable sense of self that exists across time. Many psychologists believe this develops gradually between the ages of 2 and 4. Before then, experiences are happening, but they may not yet be organized around a lasting sense of me. And that makes those early moments much harder to preserve as autobiographical memories. Now here's where it gets eerie. For a long time, scientists assumed those early memories were simply erased, gone forever. But newer research hints at something stranger. Some of them may still be there. In experiments, traces of very early learning can survive, buried so deeply that conscious recall becomes almost impossible. Certain smells, certain places, even certain songs can trigger a feeling without a memory attached to it. A ghost of something you clearly lived, but can no longer remember. So why would evolution allow this? One leading idea is that it isn't a flaw at all. It may simply be the price of building a brain that can learn at an extraordinary speed. In those first years, your brain has one overwhelming job: learn the operating system. How to see, how to move, how to understand language, how to recognize faces, how to predict the world. Before it can preserve your story, it has to build the machine that will one day tell it, which leaves you with something remarkable. Everything that made you you, the way you first learned to trust, to bond, to speak, the very foundation of your personality, was laid down in a part of your life you'll never consciously visit. You are built on years you'll never remember living. And maybe that's the strangest part of all. The most important chapters of your story are the ones you'll never be able to read. Stay curious.